online, that's right, online and around the world at BigDumbFunShow.com, .net, .org, .biz, .info. Look us up, and you will find us hanging out right there
on Buzz Adams' show in the future. Just kidding.
I would urge every one of you right now, no matter where you're at in the country, around the world, please.
Through the universe and over the stars and
Duck,
in the moon.
Duck under your bed. Just take cover wherever you're at because Hurricane Sandy is coming for you. You cannot hide from it. Hide, get in the doorways, get in the basements, get in the attics. Whatever you got to do, you need to hide right now from Hurricane Sandy. It is going to be
Hurricane Sandy is not even touching the Midwest, silly.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. Get in a basement. Pull a mattress over your head. Put on the helmet. Whatever you got to do.
Because
it's coming for you.
Let me tell you, not only is the hurricane there, not only is it on landfall, but sharks.
Absolutely. There are sharks in the water. There are sharks on the Jersey Shore. But earlier, a couple minutes ago, we were talking with Elliott Threatt, comedian Elliott Threatt. ElliottThreatt.com is where you can pull him up. He was just recently on Buzz Adams' morning show in El Paso, Texas, playing a gig down there. Also
opening up for Carlos Mencia.
Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, I was working with Carlos Mencia down there. That was pretty good. And you remember him from Stealing Material, right?
Yeah, you were saying about that. You remembered him from that, too.
Wasn't Carlos Mencia on BET or the comedy show?
Mind of Mencia.
What was the show that was on?
Mind of Mencia.
What was the show again?
And he was in the star of a movie called My Family Wedding. You know, I wonder how Forrest Whitaker feels right after winning his Academy Award to have to match acting chops with Carlos Mencia. But, you know, I was surprisingly impressed with his act. You know, he's very funny and paints a very good picture and story, and it was something I enjoyed watching there. But, you know, I think the whole Stealing Material thing, it happened with a guy named Joe Rogan. I don't know if you're familiar who he is.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, The Man Show.
Yeah, they were friends at the time, I thought.
Well, not so much The Man Show, also Fear Factor.
Yeah.
You know, you might remember Fear Factor when they would always make people do crazy stuff.
I know, but how do you know?
And also he's really into this UFA wrestling and everything like that.
But how do you know he stole material from Joe, what was his name?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. How do you know that? I mean, what?
Everyone knows.
He steal material from Joe Rogan, and I question. You know, I mean, I'm a little sensitive about that because, you know, as Aaron knows, as a community, there's only so many experiences that everybody has. So you put everybody in a room like a bunch of monkeys typing on a typewriter. We're all going to come up with similar bits. They put 50 comics in a room. Hey, everybody come up with your bit on McDonald's. You know, a lot of them are going to be similar.
Yeah.
You know, so
you put 50
just
comics.
because another person says it doesn't mean another person stole it.
You put 50 comics in a room and Carlos Mencia, and he's got a lot of material.
But Elliott, did you watch any of the YouTube?
The last time I performed down there, there's a good case in point. I did a bit about my father's pajamas. You see me do that bit all the time, Aaron, right?
Yeah, the peekaboo pajamas.
You stole that from me.
Dane Cook.
You stole that from me.
And he said, Dane Cook, you stole that bit from Dane Cook. And I said, no, I didn't. He said, you stole that from, I don't care what you said. So I'll talk to you after the show, I said. So we go on, he kills it, I talk to him after the show. And then, you know, thank God for YouTube, we pull up a bit for me doing the same bit in 1989. Years, but I think Dane Cook might have been in elementary school at the time.
Oh, my goodness. That's a
You're
long
like,
time ago.
I'll prove it to you. I've been doing this joke for years.
1989, Elliott. That's a long time ago.
He's been recycling that bit for years.
And that's actually when I was actually witnessing my dad in his pajamas. Exactly at that point in time. But the point being is that, you know, I don't know Dane Cook. I've never watched his act, right, because I don't like that kind of torture. But people can come up with similar things, and I think that might have what happened with Carlos Mencia, although the one bit about Bill Cosby, but they had him with Bobby Lee, and the big confrontation goes when Joe Rogan confronts Carlos Mencia on stage about stealing material right when he's on stage. It's all on YouTube.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to the act was damn near
similar,
exact. Like it was so close, though. I mean.
Was it the Bill Cosby? Yeah, the one Bill Cosby bit, and you know, and I don't question if he's still a Bill Cosby bit because he's like at the beginning of time. He's like you know, prehistoric DNA in stand-up comedy. It's like you can't do that. It's kind of like hey, nobody else puts an arrow through their head and says, excuse me? What do you mean? If somebody does that? So that's when you steal from Bill Cosby or something like that. But all he had to do was credit it, If you love somebody's bit so much, as a comedian, you just go like George Carlin used to say, life is a series of dogs. That was one of his quotes, you know what I mean? So if you just kind of preface it,
saying,
like Rodney Dangerfield says, in my house, my wife's such a bad cook, we pray after we eat, right? You've heard that 1,000 times, but it's nice to,
to reference the act that actually came from. So when Carlos went, boink, that could have been nasty, like Elliott said.
Exactly. Boink, that could have been nasty. Hey, so I will talk with politics. Who do you think is going to win the election, Rena?
Me.
No, the presidential election.
I don't even know why you asked her.
Yeah.
I'm running for president.
Do you know which one you're voting
and
for?
Roseanne Barr, all right?
No, I'm still...
Who do you think is going to win? Not who you're going to vote for, who do you think is going to win?
Oh, I think it's going to be Obama, and I think it's going to be by a large margin, unless there's this this sleeper cell of like hardcore Republicans that did not vote for McCain last time because they didn't like McCain, and they're just like, aha, the fact here locally, Elliott, with the Aiken McCaskill, why is this a neck-and-neck race? And that's what not scares me, but I'm just thinking that there's a hidden group of very quiet individuals keeping their politics to themselves, not participating in any of these surveys or anything
liberals.
Like that. Hold on. But not participating in any surveys or anything like that. So there's no way you could track them. You can't poll them or anything, and they're going to come out this time on Election Day, and it could sway it one way or another.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that is that, these people are hardcore evangelicals. Romney is a Mormon, which, is pretty close to a cult, right? They don't believe in the Virgin Mary. They think Jesus is a 6'2" man, white man living on the planet Koloff.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
They just kind of haze all over that.
Hey, Elliott, let me tell you, I have no clue who's going to win. I have no clue who I'm going to vote for, and I have no clue anything about this politics right now.
Thanks for that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Because I just...
That's the perfect way to set us up right into that break bumper.
Yeah. No.
Now when we come back, we'll ask somebody else who they think is going to win.
Rena's like, let me just make sure that everyone knows I am completely clear when I say I don't know what the hell's going on and I'm hungry right now.
Yes.
Well,
Elliott Threatt
knows that Todd Aiken is a crazy man. So
it's
as long as I can keep seeing Jennifer Lopez abs, that's all I care about right